We're going to look at angles interior to circles in lesson 64. And we're first going to look at theorem 64-1. And what that states is the measure of an angle formed by a tangent and a chord. All right, here's our tangent, and here's our chord. The measure of the angle formed by those, so here or here, is equal to half the measure of the arc that subtends it. Now what subtends mean is, let's say we're talking about measure of angle ABC, all right? I'll call this 1. The measure of angle ABC equals half of arc BEC. So here is arc BEC. BEC is said to subtend angle 1. All right, that is the word that you would use. But if this angle was 100, we would automatically know that this arc is 200, because this angle is half of the arc. Or to the other side, angle CBD is equal to half of arc BC. So we'll do one practice problem. The math is really easy here. You just got to know know the theorem. Example 1a, this is all we need to do. It says to find measure of angle ABC. Find that angle. So ABC is right here. That's what we're looking for. Well, we're given this arc is 188. And we know that from our theorems, okay, the measure of the angle, all right, it actually goes hand in hand here, is half of the arc that subtends it. The arc that subtends it is BDA, and we know its value is 188. So half of 188 would be 94. So this angle would be 94 degrees. One more theorem we're going to look at is theorem 64-2. This one's really easy. Theorem 64-2 states that the measure of an angle formed by two chords intersecting in a circle, so here's an angle, two chords intersecting, is equal to half the sum of the intercepted arcs. So let's look at angle 1 right here. If we're trying to find angle 1, it is equal to half the sum of arc AD plus BC. Those are its intercepting arcs. Why is AD still intercepting even though this is the angle? Well, if you remember, these right here are vertical angles, so these are actually congruent. So arc AD plus arc BC divided by 2 would equal angle 1, and then angle 2 would be half of arc A. I think I said AB on the last one, I meant AD. AB plus DC. These two arcs added together and then divided by 2 would equal angle 2. So let's look at example 3, one example together, because I think you'll get the idea from here. It wants us to find x. How do we find this degree? Well, looking back at theorem 64-2, it says that this angle, angle x, is equal to half of the sum of the intercepting arcs. Here's an intercepting arc, here's the other one. So half the sum of 70 plus 195 would be angle x. So 70 plus 195 is 265. Then we divide that by 2, and we get 132.5. And that's how you do theorem 64-2. And those are some intros into different angles interior to circles and how to solve for them.